Welcome back to the second lesson of my HTML tutorial series. In this lesson, we're going to delve into the fundamental building blocks of any web page, HTML elements. There are 3 learning outcomes for this video. By the end of this lesson, you'll have a solid understanding of what HTML elements are, how they work, and the main HTML elements you will commonly use as a web developer. Learning outcome 1. Understand what HTML elements are. HTML elements are the fundamental building blocks of an HTML document. Each HTML element is represented by a pair of tags, an opening tag and a closing tag. The opening tag indicates the start of an element, and the closing tag indicates the end of that element. The content between these tags defines what the element contains or represents. Though it is important to note, there are a few types of HTML elements that do not have closing tags: void elements, meta elements, and embedded elements. Learning outcome 2. Understand how HTML elements work. HTML elements work by providing structure, semantics, and instructions to web browsers on how to render and display content within a web page. Learning outcome 3. Understand the main HTML elements you will commonly use as a web developer. Here's a breakdown of the main HTML elements that developers commonly use. Division elements. The div tag represents the division element in HTML, and it is a generic container element used to group and style other elements together. Heading elements. The H1 through H6 tags in HTML represent different levels of heading elements, with H1 being the highest level and largest font size, and H6 being the lowest level and smallest font size. Paragraph elements. The P tag in HTML represents the paragraph element and is used to define and display text as separate paragraphs. Anchor elements. The A tag in HTML represents the anchor element and is used to create hyperlinks to other web pages or resources. The href attribute specifies the URL to link to. Image elements. The img tag in HTML is used to embed images on a web page. This has replaced the deprecated image tag that was used to embed images in older versions of HTML. The src attribute defines the image source URL, and the alt attribute provides alternative text for accessibility. Unordered list elements. The UL tag represents the unordered list element in HTML, and it creates a bulleted list, often used for listing items without a specific order. Ordered list elements. The OL tag represents the ordered list element in HTML, and it creates a numbered list where the order of items matters. List item elements. The LI tag represents the list item elements in HTML and is used within an unordered list or an ordered list to define individual list items. Span elements. The span tag represents span elements. They are similar to division elements, but in line. It's often used to apply styles to a specific portion of text. Table elements. The table tag represents the table element and is used to create tabular data structures on a web page. Table elements contain other elements like TR elements, table rows, TD elements, table data cells, and TH elements, table header cells. Form elements. The form tag represents form elements and is used to create interactive forms, such as those with input fields, buttons, and other form controls. Input elements. The input tag represents input elements and is used within forms to create various types of input fields, like text fields, checkboxes, radio buttons, etc. Text area elements. The text area tag represents text area elements and creates a multi-line text input field suitable for longer text entries. Button elements. The button tag represents button elements and defines a clickable button, often used within forms for user interactions. Semantic elements. Header, footer, nav, section are some examples of semantic elements. These elements provide semantic meaning to different sections of a web page, making it easier for search engines and assistive technologies to understand the content structure. Inline frame elements. The iframe tag is used to represent inline frame elements and are used to embed external content such as maps or videos within a web page. Thanks for tuning into this lesson. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe for more programming tutorials and tech-related content. I'll see you guys next time.